Welcome back to another episode of The Donkey and the Bee with the Jackass and the Biatch here.
Well, tonight we are talking about being healthy and wealthy. We CrossFit, we hit the gym, we get up every morning, not almost every morning, at 4:30 a.m., right? Hit the gym, and it became part of our routine. And I want to share from that perspective because I think personally in my own life, in a lot of other elite athletes and very wealthy people that I know, that you see this correlation and you build the same skill sets of your physical body, treating that right, growing that, and then growing your wealth, growing your investments, growing your business.
It's very similar to a mindset growth mentality that you have as well. So I think it's, for example, when we first started going to the gym, we went late. We would go at like 9 a.m. And I remember people would be like, why don't you come to the gym earlier? Why don't you come? I'm like, oh, there's no way we could wake up earlier than that, right? Because our mindset was like, no, we can't get up that early. So then we started going to the early. And now it's like, there's no way we can go to the late one. We have so much stuff to get done. And so I think it was just a mind shift change for us, realizing that the earlier you get up, the earlier you move your body, you have so much more time throughout the day to get so much more stuff done. And there's something empowering about getting up before everyone else does. And so not only is it a financial, physical kind of connection, it's also a mindset connection as well.
That's so funny you bring it up. We were going to, it was like 8:30 or 9 a.m. and it was all the moms, right? It was just in the time for them to drop their kids off at school and get there. And you had the moms club there. And that gym, that class, they just weren't pushing it, right?
Yeah.
They were not trying to hit their best potential on their physical body and other areas of life, right? But then you kind of transition and you start going to an earlier class and you see the discipline that it takes to get your butt out of bed 3 hours before the sunrise and get to gym, whether it's, below freezing on those mornings or whatever it is. But that's a different breed of people, a different level of commitment. And man, I am so grateful for that because that trickles into our business life. That person that I have trained myself to become, who naturally just now gets up at 4:30 a.m., is the same person that when the workday's over at 6 o'clock, I have plenty more to do and I'm going to do it, right? It's that same muscle, it's the same grit that just like, well, I'm now the guy who just does it. I'm the guy who doesn't care if I am tired, I still get up at 4:30. That's what I do now. You just wake up, right? And that's what it is. I'm now that same guy that's like, okay, well, if it's 8 o'clock at night and I still have more work to do, that's just what it is. I became that guy. And there is such a power to making money and building these skill sets on the business side that you're actually able to learn and grow and develop on the physical body working outside.
I know that we were talking about the physical and the financial, but I do think that it correlates to relationships too, to our relationship, to your relationship with friends, and also relationships with your kids. I think being a parent that, in essence, refuses mediocrity. I think that's kind of how I envision this as, is like, we are getting up early, we're working out, moving our body, because we don't want to be like everybody else. We don't want to be average. We don't want to be, those people who sit on the couch and are overweight and who are eating fast food and drinking beers and, not doing much with their life. We don't want to be like that. And that's not an elitist thing to say. It's like, we only have very few years in this life to do something amazing. Why would you just sit on the couch and let it pass you by? So this aspect that we're talking about, it far reaches more than just the financial and the physical. I think that there's so many aspects of life that you can really grow in your discipline and really not just be that average, mediocre person.
Well, it's that muscle. It's that don't quit muscle. All right, you refer to discipline when you have to get up at 4:30. It's discipline when you have to bite your tongue when you want to make a comment to your spouse. That's discipline. When you need to work the weekends or stay late for a project, that's discipline. And it's that same muscle that we build when we're physically working out. It's that let's put in the extra set. It's that let's do a long race. It's all of those things, one-to-one, definitely correlate to business and putting in that time. And you can become that person. And actually, that's really why I love doing the long races, the Ironman and the ultra marathons. The effect that it has on me, not necessarily from a competitive athlete perspective, but from a business and like just who I am as a person. It has way more effect on who I am as a person and my ability to do business. Because honestly, entrepreneurship, the hard, grueling life that it is when you start out and you're building your team and trying to get off the ground, man, it's just like training for your first Ironman. It's like so many months of so many miles on the road and the bike and the swim and prepping for the race. It's just like, oh, this is grueling. And you do it over and over again, day in and day out for months. It's just like entrepreneurship. And then you realize like you're doing it, you're racing. And it's like, oh man, like this isn't that bad, right? Like I built this thing up on my head. And that's really what it is, right? Getting out there, starting your first business. It's really just that same skill set of every single day. I'm going to get up and do the things that most people are average on, and they sleep in and they cut the corners and they don't do it.
I can correlate that with CrossFit movements. So if y'all listeners aren't really familiar with CrossFit, there's lots of different movements within CrossFit. And we've been doing CrossFit for 5 years now. And I mean, for me personally, there's some movements I still can't do. And Brett can do all of them, just to let you know that he can do all of them. So I think that's another thing that I like about it is there's these movements that you can't quite do yet, right? But you still try them every time, and you're trying to get better within that certain movement. And I think that correlates also to business. It's like there's certain skill sets you have not really acquired yet becoming a new entrepreneur, and you're trying these new things and you're failing, and you're trying these new things and you're failing, but then you're trying, and every time you're trying, you're getting better at it. It's very similar to CrossFit. Like if you're trying to do a handstand walk or a ring muscle up, and it's these movements where, gosh, you try and you look stupid and you really look dumb, and like the whole class is watching you, and like you're like, whatever, I'm just trying to get better. And I think that's very similar to business. Like there's so many things you're gonna try. You're gonna post on social media, you're gonna have this website, or you're gonna have these phone calls or whatever it may be, and you're gonna fail, you're gonna look dumb, but like you're getting better as you're doing it. And so that's a very similar correlation in that aspect.
You know what I think is interesting is at the gym, you'll see some like really BA athletes. I mean, just people that are just ripped and they can do all this cool stuff, and they're competitors. But they are not financial competitors. They are physical competitors, and they're elite in that field. But they do not realize that they have the same skill sets, grit, discipline to take what they are doing in the gym. Because it's not like they're just working out 1 hour a day. They're hitting the gym multiple times. They're doing other things, right? They have that skill set. If they could turn it and refocus it, right? If they could get a coach or a mentor and say, hey, here are the steps. Take the skill sets, take the grit and the determination that you're spending over here and do it this way, man, they could blow something up. And so I would say that this correlation we're talking about, the strength, the stamina in your physical body, and then how that relates to business, it goes both ways. For people that are already ripped, man, they don't even know that they already have the secret sauce. They just have to execute and have a coach. And then the people who are in business and they're not physically fit, right? I can promise you your business will go so much better. It's not necessarily about your business, it's about you. Mm-hmm. You will become 10 times more effective and believe in yourself more and be that guy or that gal that just gets it done no matter what. Every single day, I'm gonna get my crap done. I'm gonna go the extra mile because you're doing it, right? Mm-hmm. If you can prove to yourself, prove to the other people around that I'm just the person that no matter what, I'm gonna get my crap done. You do it in the gym, by 6 in the morning, you've already accomplished so much. It's like you get home, your kids are still asleep. And it's like, bam, man, like I'm ready to crush my day, right? I've already done so many different things. And now I am that person. I'm gonna make sure I get my crap done.
What I do hear a lot from people is, oh, you get up at 4:30, you go to the gym, you work, oh, you must love working out. That must be something you just love doing. Oh yeah, see, I just don't like working out. It's not for me. That statement is just like, it irks my insides because there are probably more times than not that I do not want to get up and I do not want to go to the gym because I'm sore or I'm tired or I'm sick or it's cold or whatever it may be, right? There's all these excuses you can throw out all the time. But I refuse to cave into those excuses. I don't care how I feel that day, and I do it anyways. And so I think that is also building that muscle of not having those excuses, not caving into those excuses. But what makes it easier to not give into those excuses is when you have somebody else getting up with you. I think that's what makes it easier, because we get up together, we go to the gym together, and so we are kind of our accountability partner together, and that's similar in business too. So I think if you have that partner, it doesn't have to be your spouse, it can be a friend that you go to the gym with to keep each other accountable. I think that's also very helpful. But I just wanted to let everybody know that we do not always feel like going to the gym.
I think it's 50-50 for me, right? I'm always like, man, I wonder if she's going to say I don't feel good when we stay home. But I never say anything, right? And then Laura never says anything. So it's always like we both begrudgingly get out of bed every morning, go brush our teeth. And the next thing you know, it's like we're already awake. It's like, damn, we might as well just go. We're already here.
Yeah, we literally never even say anything to each other in the morning. It's just like we get up, we brush our teeth, get dressed, go to the bathroom, get in the car. Like, it's just like, yeah, we're just
I don't think
focused.
we say anything till the gym is done. It's like, I don't want to talk to you, right? I'm getting my crap done. Then I'll turn on my personality.
No, it's true. Honestly, everyone in the gym probably thinks I'm lame. I never talk. I never say anything. But then when I'm in the community, that's all I do. All I do is talk and clown around. So everyone in the gym felt like, man, this girl's a real lame. It's just 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to be all bubbly.
Right. So if you are trying to build your wealth, then make sure you get your butt to the gym, right? Build that skill set, build the grit, and then take those lessons and build your business.